But
Do you guys feel
many
like
things do work. So
do you guys feel like you struggle to find venues to play in with such a unique combo?
really not right now. We are kind of,
Yeah.
we seem to have kind of hit a little niche of venues where, some of them are a little bit more like upscale venues, things like that,
Yeah.
like country clubs and things like that. Just the heart, kind of goes with, fancy formal events and,
It definitely
things like
opens
that.
doors for y'all that other bands might not be able to walk
Yeah.
through, right?
Definitely does.
Everybody loves top 40. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't, it's undeniable, and there's been so much of that throughout the years that these are people's memories, they get nostalgic when they hear it. So
Yeah.
I think there's an advantage there because not everybody wants to hear the latest country tracks, played like you hear on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you guys are playing those types of places too, like you mentioned TXM. You guys are playing wine bars, you're playing restaurants, you're playing regular bars, you're playing art shows, you're playing the country clubs. So a wide array of different types of venues. The coffee shop.
The coffee shop. We've just
guys
been
play
really lucky to find some very receptive, venue owners to take chances on us, and I love it too. Like, I take my kid to school, and I saw a guy that works at a venue that we play at pretty regularly, and I was like, I'm in my dropping my kid off at school at 7 a.m. outfit, not my I'm out gigging, outfit. And I was like, hey, you might not recognize me, but I'm, the harpist. I can't wait to see you guys again. And he was like, oh man, everybody just loves it when you come. And I was like, oh, thank you. I love that. And so we've just been so lucky to, hit a handful of regular places, and then, and those places somebody will see us there and tell another venue, like, in the Cedar Creek Lake area, actually, strangely enough, a lot of people are hitting us up from there. It's like, hey, we heard about you playing at this one place, and now we want to get you out. And, I love that. And I'm also, on the other side of that coin, I'm not shy about sharing, like, where I play.
Nope.
Some people, musicians like to play close to their vest, and they, it's like there's, not enough venues to go around, but I will tell you, like, I played at this place and I loved it, and, they paid me well and they were great, but on the other side of the coin, I'll also tell you I'm not going back to that venue again, or something like that. But
yeah, you're sharing all the secret fishing spots.
I am, and I know some people probably, maybe some people don't like that, but I'm just like, I feel like there's enough, for everybody to get in and go around.
you got the right vibe, they'll book you.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
I don't have
If you're
about
trying to hold on to something, then you're not very confident in your own ability.
Right.
Exactly. I was like, I don't feel like they're going to never call me again because I referred this other other act. So, and I love helping people out with, like, who are like, I've hit a rut, and where could I go? And especially like a couple of female artists have hit me up. They're like, where, because of the male dominated, country dominated, where would I fit? And I'm like, you need to go here. You need to go here. And so I'm not shy to
Which
share.
is another unique element to this band, is having a female voice to it as well. Like, and you're right, man. I hate that for y'all too. That it's so hard for female artists to get any kind of notice in Texas, especially in East Texas. I talk crap about East Texas all the time, but it's just cover music dominated, it's country music dominated, and it's so hard for an original artist, especially a female, to get noticed here.
It very much is, and I feel,
which, by the way, is crazy, because you have Miranda Lambert and Casey Musgraves and Leanne Ryan,
women have dominated.
Miriam Womack, and all of these great females that came from this area.
That came from this area, but if you don't do country, you're kind of like, a little bit overlooked.
Absolutely.
And I know that, we're okay. I love playing covers. We get to play our original music. We're afforded that opportunity. We've, never played at a place that was like, don't play your originals, only play covers. But, I know also that there are musicians.
If you played all originals, they would be more vocal about
They would be more vocal about that for sure.
Yeah.
And so that's what I always tell people. I'm like, do like a, 60-40, 70-30, kind of split.
And if you can find a venue that's okay with that, then that's great.
Then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know some, venues are not, and, to be upfront. And I know, there are musicians who just want to play their original music, and that's so awesome. And I wish I had that many songs that I could play a 2-hour set.
Right. I mean, ultimately the balance, there should be a balance there between both. I think 60-40 is good, for sure. Especially with a band like y'all, where you're taking, like you said, lo-fi Metallica, stuff like that, Sweet Child of Mine, those kind of vibes where you're creating a song that doesn't sound like the original. Like, I don't know how many times my wife and I were listening to y'all and Tyler, and it was like playing Name That Tune.
It's like, it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's
but
going
I
to take me
can't.
at least 40 notes to name every
To
one
name
of these
that
songs.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a process of kind of like an adaptation between venues? Like, in other words, you know you're playing a certain room, so you kind of craft your set list based on that?
Absolutely. Like if we're playing, a venue, that's just a multi-band show or something, we're going to pull out all the stops and play the weirdest stuff that we have. We're going to play all of our originals and then, probably some covers to fill in at the end if there's time. But, there's other venues where we know, we're going to play this, we're going to play that. There are other, we know where we can maybe get away with we do a cover about like murder, and we can we can do that at some venues. At other venues, we might not want to do that. So we definitely try to read the room a little bit. And if it's like, oh, they really like that one, let's do something.
So you guys would you say you're more reactionary than kind of trying to figure it out before you get there?
We were today. There's a couple of tables of more elderly patrons, so we decided to go with 60s stuff there for a minute, see if we couldn't,
And then like some 20-somethings came in, and we were like, all right, let's bring it to, a song that's a year old, and that kind of thing.
Man, this is such a good tool to have in your toolbox, you guys. Big time. I love that. Man, you know what? You guys are both seated for all of your shows, right? And working the stage is part of entertainment. So how do you guys find a way to be entertaining while not being able to have that aspect of working the stage, so to speak?
I do play bass some as well, and if we have the space for it, I like to stand up, when I'm doing that, just to change it up a little bit. Every now and then I will let a loop, if the song is fully loopable or most of it is, I will let the loop run, and then I will stand up and sing, or, take the mic off the stand, try to get a little bit more, of, bringing the crowd in with that, and not just us being, trapped in our corner, unable to move. So for me, it's, I'll try to switch instruments, do something a little bit different, engage the crowd a little bit depending on kind of where we're at.
Do you do a little bit more storytelling too, perhaps?
I don't do a whole lot of, I'm kind of shy, and so I don't do a whole lot of like bantering and talking, but I have, a few like jokes that I'll tell and things like that. And, Jason, he'll be hamming it up when he's getting into it.
I get silly. We're not one of those bands though. We're not like a party band. Our thing is like, just here we are. We'll sit there and it's two weirdos playing ephemeral versions of your favorite songs, and we're just kind of playing off of that. Like you like it or you don't. We're just not really the types that I don't even think I wouldn't want to bounce around and do anything.
How do you guys kind of avoid just being background music?
So that, I think, I did so much background. When you're a harpist, you do a lot of background music. You cut your teeth on weddings and, nursing home gigs.
Because listening to your songwriting, it's much more than that. So, but I imagine a lot of these restaurants and places are kind of hiring you for the background.
For the background music.
Right? So,
and I will say, I think we've only been asked to turn it down like once, and I think that was just because we decided we would we'll set our amps up on a table this time, and that ended up not being a good idea. It was like, we should have left them on the floor. But, it is, sometimes hard to not just, fade into the background. But I think, just the look of the harp, and, so people walk by and go, whoa, what's that? And especially like at a place like this where there's a big window, people are walking down. And we played at I don't think you played this one with me, but I played at a place in Denton, and they had kind of a situation like that, and people were walking by and then like backing up, like, whoa, what's going on in there? And so we try to keep it, fresh, but if it's, a place where we know that's what they want, then we're totally okay to be there.
It depends on the venue. Yeah. Some places, we're just going to hear forks and plates and stuff and whatever, but there's some places where they're really interested in the music, and it's fine. I mean, if they pay us, we play it, and it's cool.
That's all right.
I don't want to be a background. I can do whatever. I can mess up. Nobody cares.
I think another thing, we don't have a lot of ego like in our situation. We're not, about you must listen to me and whatever. We don't really have that. It's just we love it if you love it. We're we're happy to hear that. You know, we love that, and you know,
We might experiment. It's kind of a slow night. Nobody's really caring about it. We'll just pick something. Be like, you want to try that and play something, you know.
And how do you guys, man, I had to ask this because a lot of times when you're choosing covers, you can choose them one of two ways, right? There's either, okay, this is a really popular song, people are going to love this. And that usually goes hand in hand with, can we get them to dance? Can we get them out of their seats? Blah, 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 right? And then there's the choosing of the covers that are important to you. There's songs that really resonated with you when you were younger, whatever they are, right? And with you guys, you do a little of both of those, right? There's like cover songs that you guys do that nobody will even know is a cover song. Like it's such a deep dive, right?
Exactly.
So how are you guys choosing those songs?
I think a lot of it's just, you know, like there is one that we do, and I bet people think this is our original. I'm sorry, Cherry Glazer, if you ever see this. Like, we love your song, Juicy Socks, but we do it in such a, you know, different way. They're like a 3-piece guitar, drums, bass, you know, kind of band, and then you know we do a little harp, loop it, play a little bass, you know, come back to the harp, and I know people are like, oh, I really like that song, you know. It's like, yep, that's a cover, but you know, it's one of those that, you know, most people probably don't realize what that is, but a lot of times, you know, somebody might suggest something to us that we don't know yet, and it's like, oh, we should do that. Like we were at one venue, and this guy asked us for Rooster by Alice in Chains, and we were like, heck yeah, you know, and it was fun, and it was great, you know, and then that might make us think of, you know, some other thing. And, you know, we do get a lot of requests and things like that. So we'll be like, we might not know it this time, but we guarantee you when we come back, we'll know it the next time.
We've listened to everything. I feel like, I mean, we listen to so many songs throughout our lives that it's just every now and then one creeps back up. You're like, oh, you remember that song? And then we're like, let's play it. You know?
Are you guys adding songs a lot too to keep the shows fresh?
We definitely are. And we're kind of going through kind of a big period of that right now, where I'm wanting to like freshen things up. And so that's where we did the big set list share and you know, add some things in that we want to learn, or things that we played that were good that for some reason we stopped playing. It's like, we never play that anymore. I mean, we should bring that back, like Chicago, like you mentioned. Bring that back. Like, I think we stopped playing that because of the balloon incident. It traumatized us.
Yeah, I had PTSD over the balloon thing.
We played at a venue and we were into it, you know, in the middle of 25 or 6 to 4. We're up on this big stage, you know, we're loving it. And there was a party, and they were playing this balloon popping game.
No, they were rigging down. She had one of those balloon arches.
Oh, yeah,
that's like, I can't put it in my car like this. So she went pop, pop, pop. Just all of those balloons had to be popped.
Wow.
And I'm drumming, and it sounds just like my snare. And I'm like, what?
I look at him like, what is your problem, man? You know, why are you playing that way? And then my mind went somewhere totally elsewhere, and I thought it was gunfire. And I said, we're about to go out doing what we love, pick up the pace, you know. And then I realized, you know, what it was. And then we kind of stopped playing that song after that.
I couldn't get over it. I was like, she's so unaware.
And she actually went, oh, whoops. Well, I better just pop them all now.
So I'll get done quick. Too late now.
And so, you know, you have to be, and I actually have a piano student who's going to join us for one of our shows and sing backup vocals. And that's what I told her. I was like, she's in the choir at UT, and I went and saw one of her performances there at, you know, Braithwaite Hall, and you know, you can hear a pin drop in there, and everybody's laser focused on what you're doing. And I was like, so what you're going to do with us, this is not that. I was like, there may be balloon popping, and there may be dogs, there may be a server dropping a whole plate, you know, a whole thing of glass.
That's the beauty of entertainment.
Yeah, I said,
you never know what you're walking into.
Exactly. I said, this will get you prepared for a totally different thing, but it will be very beneficial.